Archangels, ghosts, and Bigfoot. Oh my. It's just another night for Supernatural Girls. Real stories, real answers to life's biggest supernatural mysteries. And now for another exciting interview with paranormal experts from this world and others. Here's your host, paranormal researcher Patricia Baker, on the one, the only Supernatural Girls.
Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Supernatural Girls. I'm your host, Patricia Baker, and I'm here with my co-host all the way from very hot Tucson, Miss PK. How are you tonight?
Very hot. God.
Oh,
I went outside to check my plants and did a U-turn. They're on their own.
Oh, my God.
It's horrible. Good grief.
Yes, indeed. So tell us, we've got Mercury retrograde tormenting us. What else?
And it will continue to torment us until about the 11th of the month. So, folks, just put your feet up. You got about a 2-week span left to deal with it. Then we can decide what we're going to be when we grow up.
Okay, good.
No easy ways about it. I think the most important thing right now with the retrograde, pay attention to what you decide. Be very cautious. When you read something, double check it and put the double check on the mouth as well, because things come out that we don't mean. I've had a couple of people call me and say, I don't know what happened. We were just discussing it. The next day, he's yelling at me or I'm yelling at her or whatever. I said, it's because you're not hearing what the other one's saying, because everything is so convoluted right now.
Yeah.
And until the retrograde's over, unless you're born in a retrograde, forget it. Anything to do with communications can, and we'll get screwed up. My computer guy was here yesterday, did some work on it for me. I did a couple of things and some of it isn't working. I called him and he said, oh, you're going to have to double check this and double check that. I said, you just fixed it. He said, don't know why. May have slipped out. I thought, well, that gets it. I know better than have it done during a retrograde, but otherwise I wouldn't even have a computer up.
I know. We wouldn't be able to talk tonight. So
no, and then I cry.
Yeah.
I have a temper tantrum, throw myself on the floor. People would laugh and I'd feel bad.
It'd be very entertaining for everybody but us. So I have a question.
Yes.
I have a client who's about to sign a contract. When is the retrograde over?
11th.
Okay.
So August.
That's why it's ways away. I don't know if he can hold it up that long.
Well, the only thing I would do is, if you're going to have to sign it, I would put a little bravado with it that we will do this, but I want an opportunity to double check something within 2 weeks' time or something to that effect. Because sometimes we do that.
Okay.
We'll give them, but we pull back a little bit.
Yeah, this is not the right time, I know, to sign these things. But here we are. So I had to ask.
And I've got friends that are buying cars right now, and I'm going, oh my God, don't do that.
Right.
Anything to do with electronics, and most of our cars, most of the equipment in a car these days is electrical. It isn't like it used to be.
No, you're
both
right.
in the battery and spark plugs.
Yeah. We would be in big trouble if there was a big outage, because our electric cars would not work. So they don't even have to be electric cars. They can just be regular new cars.
Any car. Because look at how much electrical elements we have in our cars. My car the other day, I was playing around with it, looking at it. Oh, I could put my phone into the car. I could do all this. All that's communications.
Yeah.
So I thought, I didn't realize I had that. Well, I better not fix it now. I'll wait till it's over with.
Right. Maybe you won't need to.
Maybe I'll go out and be nothing but dust in the driveway. Who knows?
Right.
It'll burn up with all this darn heat we were all dealing with.
My God, it very well may. Jeez. Well, tonight we have such a good friend and such a great guest joining us.
Yes, that's for sure.
Alexandria is here, and let's face it, she is the angel communicator. That's who she is.
That she is.
We are lucky and blessed to have her here tonight to talk about all kinds of great things, all the energies coming in and what we need to do and how we need to stop settling, right? Stop settling.
Well, I think that's a good idea to quit settling because we've done that so long. It's become our idea of or our move of choice instead of what we really need to do.
Exactly. Why do we do that? We're going to find out, and we're going to stop because
Definitely a necessity to stop.
That's right. And so Christine is in the midst of many changes with her business and doing angel readings and things like that. And so we've got to get her on right this minute.
I think a good idea.
There she is.
There.
Hello, ladies. It's so good to see you both again. It is so good
to have you here.
Definitely good to have you with us.
Yes. So we've all been experiencing these changes in the energy. And I was the first thing you mentioned when I asked what you wanted to talk about. So we are sitting at your feet waiting to be informed. So what is happening?
So much is happening. I know PK will correct anything I get wrong because she is the astrologer. I know like this much, but I
do with the numbers. That's it.
Okay.
Planets are on their own.
I'm the expert. So Uranus has entered Gemini, which sounds like, okay, fine. But when I started, this is what I've been feeling, these energies building up. I've been saying for years, there's going to be a light shining on the charlatans, those that have been selling snake oil and people have been gobbling up as that's the thing. Guess what? That light's going to go on them. And those of us that have been behind the scenes are going to be this overnight success that kind of just took 20 years to get there. So Uranus and Gemini only happens about once every 84 years. Think about that. So none of us, well, very few of us, my parents have, because they're 86, have never really experienced this kind of energy. This energy brings in revolutionary stuff. Think World War II, Civil War. Oh, and let's think of the Revolutionary War. This country was born during this time period. Right? So we can look out and be frightened to no end about what's going on out there, or, which is the tactic I prefer to take, because there's only so much we can do on the outside until we change the inside, which is us, right? So it leads to settling. We have all settled in various different ways. So the story's coming to mind, and it's a stupid little story, but it's an example. Years ago, I was infatuated with the Pink Panther. Don't judge me. I was infatuated with the Pink Panther stuffed animal. My parents go to our state fair and they win a Pink Panther. And they were so happy they got this for me. And I'm like, so much. But thank you. But I was very grateful that they thought of me, all the things that the good girls should do, but it was a settling moment. I know, it's funny though. And it's a very first world problem. I completely get that. But it's just an example of how we settle. We can settle certainly in our relationships. And the next 5 months of this year, we can either step up and into our power and be, by the year's end, be the leader we know we're supposed to be, or we're going to be sitting on the curb, eating our popcorn, watching the parade go by because we're not taking those actionable steps. And some of those steps are going to be big.
Definitely.
And some aren't going to be so big, but they're going to lead to big results. For example, years ago, I had, notice the tense, had 4 friends, and I hung out a lot with them, right? The big thing was a Bahama Mama night, once or twice a year. It was a thing. So, but I was getting into feng shui. I was getting really into the metaphysical. And whenever I brought up anything of that realm, they would literally go, oh, there she goes again. Wasn't very supportive.
What did they mean by that?
They weren't taking me seriously. Oh, there she goes again, talking about that crazy stuff. So, and you all know that it's not crazy. It's just necessarily you can't really.
Yeah, we were titled the Woo Woo Gang.
Right. So, and I'm thinking, well, maybe this is what friends do. I don't know. And I knew in the core that I was settling. So my guides took care of it and they ripped that Band-Aid off. And in the course of 2 weeks, they all dumped me.
Oh,
I cried. I could have won an Academy Award. Let me tell you. I just carried on, but I am so very grateful because it forced me to go into that metaphysical cave and really think about what I'm here to do and how to do it. So back in junior high, the guidance counselor came in and said, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to be a psychologist. So my desire to inspire and help people has always been there. But how I do it has obviously drastically changed. But how I do this now reflects who I am now, which is, a clear channel, not just the angels, but since I saw you last, light language has come out in full steam.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember you mentioning that last time now.
Right? Mary Magdalene, I channeled her, I've channeled God. I mean, the list just keeps growing and growing and growing. And
so when somebody comes to see you for a private session, it could be any entity that comes through, not just an angel now.
Correct. So who comes through? And I won't say any entity because I only work with entities of light, because I do recognize there are some that aren't the light, because I've worked with them. I have exorcised them from people. It's not something, I am very proud of that. So I don't want to say it like that, but it's not something I hang my shingle on. That's not something I want to be actively doing all the time. I do it when it's needed, because I know I have thus far, nothing has come my way that I can't get rid of, that needs to be gotten rid of. Good. So I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for that part. So who comes through? So PK, you come to me for a session. I'll say, okay, what would you like to talk about? Where do you want to go today? And it gives me a baseline where you are energetically. So I know how far I can push you, and they know who can come through without totally freaking you out and short-circuiting your brain. So it just really depends. I have some clients that we just go way out there, and some are, they lean into my gifts. They love them. They gobble them up. But we stay a little bit more mainstream. And that's totally cool. It really depends on who's having the session and what they want to do. Now, bigger transformations and bigger shifts happen when they do a mentoring package with me, because then we have at least 3 months together, just the two of us. And it's so cool. So it just really depends on what the goals are.
When you talk about your mentoring package, is that a once a week situation, once a month? How often do you meet with these folks?
The 3-month package sometimes will turn into 4 or 5 months because, life. I'm not going to ding you if you're not feeling well, or gee, you took a vacation, right? But if I know you're hiding, and you're hiding from, you're avoiding, then I'm going to start dinging you like, no, this is not acceptable. You're now going to be either you show up this week or I'm deducting 1 session off of your tally. And it's magical. All of a sudden,
that makes good sense.
They feel better. Because I shared before the show started, we've had some medical issues in the family where I had to check out so I could take care of other people. And my clients are amazing that they go. And I held space for them. They could still reach out, but we just weren't really having those one-on-ones. But if they needed something, I was there for them. I just couldn't guarantee I could give them my best every week. And I won't show up unless I can give you my best.
Well, that's
kind of you.
And that's just my integrity. I've had mentors that didn't do that.
But when you're with somebody, I want to ask you a question about color. Do you find that, okay, so let's say we're going to use PK as an example again. PK comes to you, sits down, and she tells you what she's working on. And do you always or sometimes get a color first to let you know what ray they're working on? So let's say.
Good question. No. Is the answer. I don't see, one of my forte is not color, so I'm not prone to seeing the auras and whatnot. I just pick up on your frequency.
Okay.
And I tap into that. So I'll get an idea of, I have a gift of being able to see into the soul. And what I've had to learn is not hold it back per se, but know that that's really not what the human you wants to do, or you're going to spend a whole lot of time arguing with me about it. And it's just going to be exhausting for the both of us. So I'll play along for a little bit to get you better in alignment, because sometimes some clients can be so far off their path. It takes a while to get them kind of back where they need to go. And, and sometimes where they started, like I went to school for court reporting, right? Can you see me as the court reporter?
Oh my God.
No, the judge maybe, but not the reporter.
Quiet all day long. So, so it's working with them. Like they may have started off as a nurse, and that's in alignment because they are a natural healer, but their lives have changed and they now become a death doula. So it's in alignment, but they were settling for a point, up to a point, because it just made life easier.
Okay.
And now their life has, not to overuse the word, but their life has calmed down enough that they're now more opened to possibilities. They're not putting out constant fires and just purely on survival. Now, like, okay, I can breathe.
Right.
Now what can I do?
Right.
And that's when I go, I got you. And then we can go and play.
Okay. So when PK comes for her reading and you read her frequency,
yeah,
is it likely, let's say PK comes back several times, do the same angels follow her around? Or are they different?
Well, we all have, that's a good question. We all have a guardian angel that has been with us since the first time we incarnated. And let's say somebody is in the police force, or they're in some line of security, cybersecurity, they're even the mall cop. They have an energy of protection around them. They want to help people. So they'll have, depending on how immersed they are in that field, because sometimes a mall cop is just a job and sometimes it is their vocation. They'll have the energy of Michael around them. Michael is the angel of protection. Others that are healers, and surgeons are healers, but so can plastic surgeons, so can an esthetician, so can a massage therapist. So obviously any energy worker can be a healer. Healing has a very, very big, broad scope. So that's not to say Raphael, the healer of the angelic realm, is not your guardian angel, but he'll just always be in your backpack. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right. So if you're a writer, Metatron, odds are Metatron's going to be with you, and what area you choose to write about, a different divine being, angelic or goddess or whatever, will come forward to help you write what it is that you're going to write.
Good. Well, we could use an angel like that, right, PK?
I hope he comes to visit real soon.
What does Uriel do?
Uriel is oversees the north. He's one of the 4 cardinal angels. The 4 cardinals are Michael, Raphael, Uriel, and Gabriel. Uriel is north. Root chakra helps you to feel safe, to be not in that safety of the, my brain just left the building, of food and shelter, but being safe to be truly you. Being not settling, not putting on the mask of, like, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm all those things. And those are different hats, but we can put on a mask to keep the peace. Uriel will help you take the mask off so you show up who you really are.
Okay, that sounds helpful.
Yes. So it's kind of like, think of it as following your North Star.
Okay, guys as well. Yes. Now, one of the things that I noticed when I tuned into angels at different times, I mean, I don't do this like you do it very often, but I've noticed that the angels are evolving too. They're changing.
How so?
I noticed in terms of energy, vibration. And in fact, one of them told me, my name is this, but I want you to pronounce it like that. And, so
okay,
it's not they're not stagnant, which was really interesting to me.
My question for you, are they changing, or is your energy changing?
Well, I hope my energy is always changing. I never want to be stagnant.
Right. So your energy's changing. So your vibration, because it's you, has risen So your connection with them is deepening and you're getting more information from them.
Okay. Because it seemed like they're on their own evolutionary path as well.
No, not really. That's not, they're going, no, not really. We're always kind of, we've always been the same. Now those, I'm listening, hold on. What they're saying is that they're not evolving, but how they talk over me. So I have to let them finish. It's like, tell them to shut up. So how they present themselves is shifting because, believe it or not, the human race is evolving, and we have reached a tipping point, so to speak, of being more accepting of what is not so tangible.
So would it be more like they're adjusting to our changes? Is it more like that? They're making adjustments as we evolve, as we change, as our vibration rises.
I think it depends on they're saying it depends on your perception. Some people will always see the angelic realm in these big balls of color. Some will persist that they have wings and a halo. Some will see them as a humanoid. So it really will vary person to person. So how they're shifting, and this is not an ego trip, what dimension you're residing in, but the more you evolve and you raise your vibration to resonate more, I can go up probably, they're saying the 8th dimension. Okay, fine. Give me a cup of coffee. So it doesn't matter, but the higher your vibration goes, the higher your dimension, how they appear to you will shift, and you'll feel it more like a kinship versus something going, oh my God, I'm seeing an angel. So it just will really vary person to person.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting.
Yeah, Christine, how do you know who your guardian angel is, what their name is? How are you able to either choose it or be told it?
Well, Raphael, believe it or not, oversees all the guardian angels. So that gives, we'd like to have a name. So Raphael can be that go-between.
Okay.
And say, because remember, the guardian angel is the same angel we've always had from life to life. However, how they show themselves to us and their name may shift. So if I don't know, give me something random, like totally off the wall.
Well, I was told years ago that my guardian angel was Uriel.
Okay, that's perfect. So, but if my guardian angel showed up with pink and had purple polka, like, well, that's really cool. It kind of figures, but it wouldn't really. I wouldn't feel a kinship to it, especially years ago. So they're going to show up to you as you can best relate to them. And the more comfortable you get with them, they're going to show more of their truer colors, because that just means you're also evolving as well. You know, you're not putting that energy outside of you going, you're owning it. You're becoming really comfortable with that power, with that energy, and letting it, to a certain degree, be absorbed into your psyche. It's not that they're controlling you by any stretch of the imagination, because, you know, we got free will, but it becomes it's not symbiotic. It's not the right word. But they just become really part of you. You know, so I like, for example, I was at a retreat recently and I channeled for the group individually, but it sounded like me talking the whole time, but it was them talking through me.
Because I was surprised because not knowing at that point in time in my life, I didn't know who the heck Uriel was. So I had to do a little research to find out. Do we have a different guardian angel with each lifetime?
No.
Or are we able to select our own, or do they just come to us and say, I'm yours?
We're it. So that'll be your guardian angel for every single life that you've been in. So they know your guardian angel knows everything about you, even the things they forget. Yeah, I know.
Tacky.
Yeah. But they also know the really cool things that we have forgotten. So they're also there to help us remember that power when we start doubting, why am I here? And you just gave me a whole big mission that I'm like, what? I'm doing what? They're like, no, this is what we talked about. You just don't remember at this moment, but stay with me. We're doing it. And some, like a very dear friend, her guardian angel has a very angelic sounding name, but she says, call me Lucy. Because for her, it's a very intimate thing. Mm-hmm. I had another client and his guardian angel was Bob. It doesn't sound angelic, but it builds a stronger relationship between them. That becomes very personal. I know. Things that are
very interesting, my dear.
People have said you can ask your guardian angels to help you with anything. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, not washing dishes, obviously.
Well, darn! I should have known.
Well, you can, but the odds of them helping you do that. But yeah, they'll help you do anything when it's in alignment with you. There's a little bit of that caveat that they're not going to help you do not so good things, because that's really not in alignment with who you are at that very core, that divine being. When we do the stupid human things, it's because the human part took over, the ego, the anger, the jealousy, all of that other stuff. Mm-hmm. So they will absolutely, need a parking spot. You got that. Of course, I also have my father-in-law who's passed on, so we call them the Chester spots because he always helps us find us that perfect spot. But they'll do that. And one of the tricks I've learned that is really beneficial when we ask, like, please help me. It sounds so whiny. And very, right. It sounds so whiny. And it comes from a very big energy of lack. But when we go into Uriel, thank you for reminding me who I am, we're coming more from a place of ownership, that I deserve you to be helping me. Versus like, Uriel, please help me. It just, it has a completely different vibe.
Well, plus what the latest and greatest are saying, and start with Joe Dispenza's work and move on from there, is that the universe is simply reflecting who we are. So asking for anything is not the right approach, that it should be more of become what you want and you got it. Right. So it's a very different way of approaching it, which I kind of like, because it does eliminate the whining and it makes you feel a little more powerful because you're
in control.
Yeah. So it's like vision boards are almost becoming passé, because it also, like, I'm stepping into that energy, but there's also that energy that says, oh, it'd be nice if this was, that kind of a deal. But so they're still powerful. They can still be a useful tool to illuminate what it is that you want. But then that's that little nod, that nudge to go, okay, chop, chop. Let's step into this energy and own this now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It sounds like we've evolved to that point, at least to understand that.
More people have. There's still a lot. There is, unfortunately, still a very big divide between that very egoic third dimension, fear and all of that, to those that are more aware, that are questioning, leaning more into with curiosity. Who is Bigfoot? By the way, we have a Bigfoot in the woods near us.
Oh, fun.
We've seen it a few times. His name's Terry. And it's actually, their name is Terry because they're androgynous. Is that the right word? So it's pretty cool. So we lean more into that curiosity versus being fearful of it and judging. We're like, well, I don't know. Let me go find out. Mm-hmm. Versus like, well, no, that can't be that way because, and then we close ourselves off to pretty much endless possibilities.
But there's also the question of trauma and getting caught in a trauma loop, which a lot of us have, forces us back into that same place of lack and fear. So it's wonderful to see how many new treatments there are
Yes.
Release trauma. There's so many, and they're all good from what I've seen. They're very effective. It just depends on which one you feel most comfortable with, whether it's
absolutely. Yeah, because trauma is a very real thing, and never will I belittle somebody's trauma. I will hold space for clients and students that have lived through things like that, and we'll navigate it together, and we have. But there are I have so many tools in my backpack that can help heal the trauma so that loop can begin to not go at warp speed. So it starts to slow down a little bit, and then eventually it would stop. So to expect it to go from full looping to jumping off, you're going to have vertigo. Because you're so used to it that we need to. So it's like the universe I always say loves, hates, avoid. You take something out, it wants to fill it back up. Mm-hmm. So by taking out all the trauma right away, what are you filling it back up with? Well, I don't know. So the trauma is going to come back in. And to really kind of like make it a little bit more relatable, we all have that junk drawer. We can clear it out and it's going to look gorgeous. 2 days later, it's mucked up again because we're not used to that clean, that pristine energy.
Not only that, but we don't have the pathway to create anything else. I mean, how we get imprinted and how we move forward, we're doing it all through paths. And we don't have that path necessarily for success or a loving relationship or a good relationship with our children or whatever.
Right.
So we're basically having to walk through the jungle with a, what do they call those things? A big scythe, cutting to create.
But sometimes it can take a simple someone seeing you. So I started a new membership. We're just finished our second month, and this woman I've admired her for a while, but she's had a rough life, but she always shows up. That she hardly ever talks about what's going on, but she just keeps showing up. But it's been a rough go. And she goes, I really want to join the membership, but I can't do it right now. I'm like, okay. And I listened to her and I said, you know what? I'm going to give you this 1 month and let's see how it goes. And we'll go from there. And she was blown away. And she goes, I have doubled my money back, what I would have spent. I'm in, and she's paying for it. So it for her, for that moment, it took someone to say, let me help. I see you. Let me help you. And it helped break that cycle for her just a little bit to keep going. And now she's looking at a 3-month mentorship. So she went from something from $55 to go, I'm going to do the payment plan for the 3 months.
That's a big change.
A huge change. And I went, okay, I'm here for you. Mm-hmm. Because I had an uncle who was a used car salesman. I know their tactics. I don't want to do that to people. So it's always about, inviting you in. And is this right for you? And I've told people, if I reach out to you privately, I'm not nagging, I'm not selling you, but I've been told to reach out to you. So take it as the invite that it's meant to be, and let's see where it goes.
Christine, what are the top things that you've seen angels do for people? Like, what do you want to call them? Miracles?
Oh, well, we've all seen the stories where they've prevented accidents. So this is my personal story with Michael. I was writing the book that flashed on the screen. And in that book is woven my personal stories with each of the angels within the book. And I had heard Michael's stories all over the place. And I don't even know if I really have one. Okay. That'd be nice if I had one. And okay then. I'm like, careful what you wish for. So I was going from where we were living in Northern Virginia to visit my parents in Williamsburg. And I hadn't gone they hadn't been there that long. So I didn't know the road that well, the route. So I'm really listening to Gertrude, the GPS. And all of a sudden she takes me off on this route. I'm like, this doesn't look familiar, but okay. Driving along and the road starts getting smaller and smaller, to the point that there are no more dividing lines on this road. I'm like, Are you kidding me? When am I going to get to mom and dad's? And the road's winding all over the place. It's going through farmland, but there's a lot of trees. You can't see around the thing. And I'm not liking this at all. I'm like, just get me out of here. Get me back to the highway. My hands were really gripping the steering wheel. And I'm approaching this one, yet another curve. And I for some reason, I pulled more to the right than I normally would have. And then coming at me, it wasn't a semi, but it was a truck so big I could not see the driver.
Oh my.
Wow.
And I went, and before I knew it, my hand but went right on the horn, and I pulled over a bit more. They pulled over and just kept on going. And I'm like, oh my God. I got out of the car to mom and dad's. I kissed the ground. Like, oh my, thank you so much. And mom's handing me wine. And I write this all to my friend. And he popped in. She says, well, she wanted a story for the book.
Wow. So did you feel the presence of Michael when you were negotiating that?
Well, yeah, it was like it kind of just took over the whole thing. So Michael gives off his signature sign. Doesn't mean it doesn't always happen for everybody. It tends to be heat. So his planetary alignment is the sun. So the sun is hot, as we all know right now.
Yeah.
And for those that have gone through menopause, it's like a hot flash, but it starts at the solar plexus, I know, and radiates out. So you get this big, huge warmth. It's like when we were doing metaphysical shows, people like, how are you doing this? It's November. You've got a sleeveless dress on, because I'm channeling and I've got Michael with me all day long. Come see me Sunday, an hour after the show. I not only changed, but I have a sweater on.
Uh-huh.
So it was just, I was always warm. So they'll intervene. You know, if it's not your time, they'll be there to protect you. Another story, we were in, where were we? We were in Rome, and we were walking through the Jewish ghetto. And my husband was sharing he's a big history buff. So he was sharing the history about the ghetto. And this little old man shows up with a twinkle in his eye, and he's telling us all about the history of it. And he was fascinating. He says, I can't take you on a tour. It's not my day. I'm like, okay. But, he gave us a tour just standing there. It was just lovely. And we thanked him. We talked for about 10, 15, 20 minutes, and we left. And my husband leans over. He goes, you think he was an angel, don't you? I said, it's more important that you think he was. And I turned around. The man winked at me and literally disappeared before my eyes.
Oh my goodness. What a gift.
So they appear to us in all sorts of magical ways. So I got stories. I have another story if you want to hear it. But they will show up. So if a person had shown up at that moment and they were wearing a tinfoil hat and said, oh, I can tell you all about the ghetto, we've been like, nice. Bye. But this person showed up as a very unassuming person. So we all leaned in. Mm-hmm. So they'll show up to make you more receptive to their presence. You two have angelic encounters, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
What about Jesus? Do you find Jesus shows up for some of your clients?
Oh, yeah. Shows up for me all the time. He's like my big brother.
Okay. So he's there a lot. All right.
So gets rather annoyed at the whole religion thing, because that's not what he was here. He was here to preach love and that power. And it's not that modern love where it becomes unconditional. That's the hill I'll die on. Love is love. Love has no conditions. And that was what he taught, and really railed against injustices and all of that. So yeah, he shows up.
Fascinating. Is there any time that an angel has showed up, or Jesus, or another ascended master, where it's overwhelming? The energy, the power, the light, where it's just overwhelming.
The first time I channeled God, I almost peed in my pants. So I was with a client, it was a phone reading, but she had been with me for quite a bit. Uh-huh. And the voice came through, and this isn't somebody, I'm having this whole conversation in my head. This isn't somebody and I'm finding myself stuttering like that I'm familiar with, but it feels okay. All right, so I'm going to roll with it. So they said their piece and I got really quiet and she goes, and who was that? I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, let's just say it at the same time, because I think I know who it was. And you just don't want to say it because you're too humble. I'm like, oh. I said, so who do you think it was? She goes, it was God. I'm like, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So he doesn't come through often, but it's pretty cool when it does.
Yeah. I mean, Neil Donald Walsh has all those books talking to God, and they're just books. I don't know if he's had anything lately, but I know
he's had anything in a while, but yeah,
his books have been out there for some time, which is exciting. And again, he says, yeah, everybody can do this. And I know you say the same thing. People can all talk to angels and God and Jesus and whomever, whenever they want. But then there's special people like you who understand it more deeply and are more accessible.
It makes a difference.
I don't put me in that special category. I'm just
like everybody else.
It's just a day in the day. It is for me. What can I say? I just lean into it and I've allowed it to happen. Sometimes my family thinks I'm nuts, but that's okay. But yet they will also be the ones to lean in. My mom was in the ER. She's fine. And my dad's like, well, you go keep her company. And he sits there and is reading a book on utopia. I'm like, well, obviously I come from it legitimately. So
you do. While you're here, do the angels have anything, or whomever's out there that you communicate with, have anything to say to us?
How long do we have?
A little while.
So what they are really, we are at, let me talk, please. We are at a pivotal point in humankind. Notice I did not say mankind, it's humankind. We are at a pivotal point, and it's that time to step up into your power. Or like I said, when we first started, you're going to be watching that parade go by and you're going to be doing the whole woulda, shoulda, coulda pity party. So there are, November, it's going to be, we're leading up to it. Like next month, there's going to be a lot of relationships that are going to be put into question. Are they supporting you? Are they belittling? Are they trying to keep you small? So we're going to start clearing the energy. So that's like your advanced warning system right now. So next month is going to be a lot about relationship focus. But it's also, we can't always put that energy outside of us. We have to look inside. How have we been playing small? How are we supporting and being proactive on that very thing we say we want, or we want to create or co-create in our life? September, those that are more spiritually gifted inclined, those gifts are going to start growing. So just lean into it. We've been talking a lot about Michael tonight. So he's your new best friend. He is that angel of protection, calling and working with him more. There's going to be a course for that called Sovereignty. Working with his sigil. In fact, I just completed it today, so it's getting uploaded soon. But working with that divine energy, so you're protected. So when you get those, those nuances, those messages, those signs, whatever you want to call it, you'll be able to discern with greater clarity. It's a bunch of smoke malarkey, or it's the real deal. Because even when it's that real deal, it can feel really big. And you go, I'm going nuts. But when you lean into it and it settles in and it feels right. It doesn't feel like illusions of grandeur. It's just like, this is what I'm here to do. Mm-hmm. And you're just going to start stepping into it more. October, we're going to get a little bit of a reprieve, kind of like an integration. I'm looking at my notes because I knew you were going to ask me these things. A little bit of an integration period. Be very aware of your thoughts and actions and what you are saying you want, because you're going to become like this really big magnet, more than the law of attraction has ever alluded to, which, by the way, is kind of phasing out as well, that whole dynamic, because we're stepping into stronger powers now. That has served a very, very good purpose, but now it's taking ownership and really being aware of, this is what I'm here to do. And it's okay if some relationships go to the wayside, because I'm looking for ones that only support me so I can support them. It's not a one-way street. It does go both ways. So, but ones that are really there for you. And then November, well, buckle your seatbelt, because there's going to be a lot of breakdowns everywhere, not just your personal life, but that's only going to lead to the bigger and greater things that are more aligned with you. So it's going to lead to breakthroughs. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a big month. So
yeah,
stock up on those carbs during Thanksgiving. And then December is that big co-creation month, and really, really, really setting the stage for next year and beyond. So that's one of the things they really wanted to share tonight with everybody, is you are being not warned, but you are being advised on what is coming and going to be available for everybody. So we can all do that Monday morning quarterbacking, reanalyzing, or we can lean in with curiosity and go, I wonder if. How could I? What could? Because remember, as a human, we're perfectly imperfect. Therefore, anything we make can always be better. How could I make this better? Or how could I make this more aligned with me? It's even a better way to say that, because better can just be superficially better, but more aligned with me becomes more authentic.
Right.
And it becomes more true to you, which is going to make it much easier for you to bring towards you those relationships that really support you. That's going to bring to you that life that you've been thinking of, that doesn't go away. So you're not making it up, and it's going to allow you to step into it with a greater sense of confidence.
So do you have a specific angel that has a message for PK?
Why are we picking on PK tonight?
I'm at the bottom of the barrel these days.
Oh, why? No.
She needs it. She needs it.
The first one that came through was Ariel, who is my personal guardian angel, aka her name is also Pinky. That's my name for her. And she is asking you to be more courageous and take the steps that you want to be doing that you haven't done yet. Because let's face it, I'm 65. Even with my family's longevity, I can comfortably say my life's more than half over. But I'm going to keep evolving and being curious until I stop breathing. So Ariel is asking you to step more into your curiosity and be more courageous to share not what you think people want you to say, but what that truth is, when the truth is when it comes out with love.
Good point.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yes.
What about Miss Patricia?
Yeah.
Oh, you.
Yes.
Here it comes.
Go for it, Christine.
God, who is coming with you? Metatron. So you're going to get the dynamic duo. It's Metatron 6 inches above your head, twin is Sandalphon 6 inches below your feet, merging together in your heart. Don't shoot the messenger, please. He's saying there are times you can be a little judgy, and he is asking you to step more into your heart. Don't shoot me, please. I'm so sorry. But he's just asking you to step more because your heart is so big. And it has been hurt, which hence will lead to that human reaction. So step back into your heart. It's more powerful. But Sandalphon is there. He's going to help you ground more confidently in it, that you have more to do, excuse me, more to do and more to give, because you're going to get tenfold back.
Who is Sandalphon? I understand Metatron. You talked about him earlier as the writer. Who is Sandalphon?
So Metatron oversees the soul chakra, helping you with your soul's mission.
Mm-hmm.
His twin, Sandalphon, is the earth star chakra, helping you ground your soul's mission into reality. Because sometimes it's kind of like that cartoon thing where it's like a thought bubble, like, oh, that's really cool, we could do that. And it's always staying up there, which means it's never going to get done because it's always up here. But when we can ground it into our being, and when it can birth in that heart space, there is no other way. There's nothing. Success is the only option.
I had no idea they were twins. That's so interesting.
Yeah, I call them the dynamic duo.
Huh.
Oh, be darned.
Yeah. So did you know that, PK? I did not know that.
I didn't either.
I taught you something tonight. How come
you certainly did?
It's important too. It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure.
Definitely.
Yeah. So again, when people call you, they can expect to have a nice breakthrough. They can have information coming that will be helpful in their lives moving forward, possibly healing the past.
That's always my goal.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is to inspire and empower millions. That's my goal. How long it takes is kind of up to you. Obviously, if there's trauma, it may take a bit longer, but there can be big, big strides going forward. And that can get whittled down. So you can bring back your power more and more and more confidently. So it's always healing. There's always, I can't always say always, often laughter, sometimes tears. And tears aren't a bad thing. It just means your soul heard that message. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it kind of shook you up a little bit. Yeah. And like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. This is wonderful. So we're all in this amazing period of transformation.
We really are.
It's palpable. Mm-hmm. We can certainly feel it. So
yeah, it can be kind of scary if we choose it to be, or it can be very empowering and, dare I say, liberating at the same time.
A little of both.
Yeah, it's so important that you're here tonight to talk about all of this, because it's energy that feels like it's just descending on us.
Yeah, and that's a great word. That's
yeah, it is.
Yeah, so there's no way out. It's like we got to deal.
Yeah, we got to deal with this one. You can do the whole covers over your head and hope Mercury goes away. But guess what? It's still here. So. Poxitoni Phil and hide.
But please tell everybody again how to get in touch with you. Okay.
My website, I have two websites. The first one is marelavie.com, right there on the screen. And the other one will be marelaviacademy.com, which is where I host all of the courses and the membership site.
And you still have your angel card, your angel tarot deck available for sale.
I do.
Anybody who would like to work with that energy, beautiful cards.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
You also angel jewelry.
And I have the other deck, the Empowered Heart, as well. So that's when she came out, she was the one of two decks in the world that was totally dedicated to Mary Magdalene.
Ah, beautiful.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yes, that's so good. So nice. Wow. Well, this has been so much fun. I hate to end the show because
I know. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
We learned so much tonight from you, like we always do. So it's so great to have you here. And
so good to have you both. See you both.
Yes. We've had too much time in between.
Yeah.
We need to rectify that.
Yeah.
I would love that. Yeah.
More often. Yes, to talk about all these great things. And again, you're such a wealth of information about angels. And
I'm a freaking encyclopedia.
Yeah, you're great. You are great. So
good work.
Thank you.
So where are we with time? I think we have a few seconds left. But look, we've got to have you back again. I know you're probably going to be writing another book too. So we'll look forward to that.
Yeah, I tried a couple, and I was all gung ho on one, then it's like it's been sitting in the file for God, several months. So other things had to shift. Obviously, all the little courses I mentioned earlier they need to unroll first, and then there might be a book. So I think I'm done with the Oracle cards. I think that's going to be it for the 2, but you know what? I'm leaning in and who knows?
What do you pick up around you for March of next year? Because I keep getting March of next year for something for you.
Oh, you know what? I have the hardest time reading for me at times. March, now you're going to put me on the spot for me.
It's
always hard. You got to do it for yourself. Yeah.
It is. Because I found like, damn, well, that sounds like too, all those things. March next year, I just keep hearing it's going to be big. I have a couple TV shows kind of in my crosshairs that I'm going to approach.
I keep getting a big blast of information, whether it's TV, books, or whatever, or you're going to be doing a circuit, shall we say. But there's something coming. And I keep picking up March.
I just got the chills. Thank you.
It's being our producer because he's telling us we have to wrap. So I'm saying,
goodbye, Bill.
But we've got to go. And so we'll be back. Actually, next week is my birthday. We're going to take that week off, everybody.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
We will run a repeat of a show with Stephen Ross. Don't miss it. It was a great show. We're going to bring it back again. And then we'll see you in 2 weeks, everybody. And we will see you on the Blue Highway. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.